While watching any movie or documentary based on history, several questions arise. They may be found in our limited knowledge, preferences, or inclinations. This has also been the case for the movie Hostiles. Directed by Scott Cooper, which was released in 2018, this movie was based in the late 19th century, when the American Indian Wars were in motion. The central theme of the movie lies in helping a Cheyenne chief reach his homeland, a U.S. Army captain named Joe Blocker, who is played by Christian Bale. Done so on the orders given by President Benjamin Harrison, this story is quite a thought-provoking and fascinating journey that starts in New Mexico. If you want an in-depth insight into the policies and events that unfolded during this period in American history, read ahead for more. This is what this movie also captures, along with how Native Americans were assimilated into mainstream society after a long and arduous struggle. Coming to Joe Blocker, the U.S. Army captain and the Cheyenne chief, namely Yellow Hawk, who is played by Wes Studi. The relationship starts as quite hostile and slowly builds up. Both fictional characters are arch-enemies at the Wounded Knee, one of the massacres in 1890. The spark that lit this fire was the violation of several treaties by the Lakota Sioux. In addition, their practice of the ghost dance was also continued despite it being forbidden. The ghost dance was perceived as a threat to the U.S. Army due to its aggressive nature. As a result, troops were deployed by the U.S. Army to take control, and so the Wounded Knee Massacre occurred, where it is estimated that over 300 Native Americans were killed, most of which were women and children. One of them being the Indian Wars of the West and Frontier Army Line, 1862 to 1898. Official histories and personal narratives. Here an overview is provided of the way of life of the armies stationed at the frontier. The perspectives and opinions of what the military had regarding the Native Americans back then were also described here. He then goes on to explain how the ghost dance was a religious ritual, not a means of preparing for war or showcasing aggression as perceived by the U.S. Army. The ghost dance was forbidden under the civilization's regulations. This is what the U.S. Department of the Interior had put in place for their safety. In addition, several other laws were implemented and executed to eradicate the Native American way of life. These were some of the ways the Native Americans were assimilated into the American culture. It is essential to view events from multiple perspectives to understand the nuances and peculiarities that historical accounts provide. This aim is to become aware of reality and have an open approach toward what could have been factual. Suppose you haven't watched Hostiles, written and directed by Scott Cooper. You can watch it with your friends and family today and experience a new perspective on the American Indian Wars.